So this is case study 4, properties that satisfy system requirements. So in this particular case, if we look in the example model, we have this table here where we're using a custom query for a custom scope. And so he's established a meta chain, and he's using a find to find all the requirements in the model. And then once you find all the requirements in the model, you run this meta chain where you're getting the named element, the supplier dependency, the satisfy, and then the client. So that's going to return all of the different types of elements that are satisfied by all the requirements in your model. So we can see how that works here, and then I'll show you how to recreate it. So again, here we're using a specify query where he's building out this meta chain here. And so what we have is all of the elements that are clients of a satisfy relationship to these requirements. So you don't see any custom column here because it's a custom scope. So basically what we're returning is all of these elements, and then we're showing their type, and then we're showing that they actually satisfy in this case, physical requirement. Okay, so how can we recreate that? So let's go to our VCCS and go ahead and create a generic table. Okay, now in the generic table, we're going to do a custom query, and we are going to change the context. We're going to reset this and use a find. And then for type, we're going to find all the requirements in the model, essentially. And then we're again going to do named element. And we're going to do supplier dependency. And we're going to, this is basically filtering because it could be a satisfy, could be a refine, could be perhaps a derive relationship, but we only want the satisfy, and then we're going to return the client. And I'll kind of go over why that works here in a second. So when we do that, we still need to put type property and select OK. And we can see by default we have nothing pop up, and that's simply because we don't have include custom types. I'm not sure why that was by default not included, but if we include custom types, we'll be able to see type, and we want to show satisfy. And here we are. So now the reason why this works is because if we go to this particular requirement here, this is a named element. So if we're looking back at this information here where we have the named element, then we just go to the supplier dependency, and then we grab the one of the satisfy relationships. And if there are multiple, in this case, it's just going to take the first one. So we're going to take that satisfy, and we're going to return its client. We find the client, and we see that that is energy consumption. And so that is what's returned from that scope.